strange world of peace and Toodles.
Well.
If
What
it isn't our
have
fellow
we here?
strangers again.
We have a
Welcome
special
back.
one today.
Yeah, this is a story connected to a conspiracy theory that's near and dear to Toodles' heart.
Conspiracy theory. The theory of hollow earth.
Hollow Earth.
Probably my favorite concept.
Yes.
Other races of humans, prehistoric
Lizard
creatures,
people, mole people,
aliens.
Anunnaki.
Who knows what's down there? So today we're going to talk about a book written by a fellow German that goes by the name of Jules Verne.
Jules Verne, who also wrote 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
But that is a different book for another day.
Yes.
Today,
Like to
we're
write
gonna do
stories about mysteries of the deep.
Journey to the Center of the Earth, which is free to listen to on Apple if you listen to books on there.
Did we not say what the story was before I said 20,000?
That he wrote another book? No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Good job.
That's funny. Yeah. Yes, Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne.
But before that,
Yes,
we have our first segment.
segment of the show.
This is the updates,
Our first segment of the
reflections,
show.
and ponderings of Peace and Toodles.
The Ponderings of Peace and Toodles. What was that?
What?
Okay, I thought you put that thing on again.
No.
Repeated my voice. What have you been pondering? Toodles, got any updates for these kind folks?
You know, nothing outside of the ordinary ponderings, I suppose. How long till, move up in a company? Wondering what it's going to be like to do that outdoor job in the winter all year. Wondering what you do as a lawn care guy all winter.
Well, a couple winters ago, I worked with a crew doing spray foam insulation. Last winter, I worked at a dispensary. I'll probably go back to that.
Which one?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Why?
Bloom. In Sturgis, Michigan. Bloom. Got a few more months, Lo. Usually I'm done for the season around Christmas time. I'm done with my lawn care stuff, and I'll get a side job for like 2.5 months. So on Spotify, there's the audiobooks section, right? And it'll show different audiobooks that various listeners of various podcasts that you listen to on Spotify. Well, so I noticed there was one that said popular with listeners of Traversing the Strange World with Peace and Toodles. So I wanted to read off a few books and see, do a little shout out and see who's listening to what in terms of our listeners. So our first one would be
Good idea.
The Popol Vuh by Michael Bazette. The Complete Guide to Shadow People.
Shadow people.
Robert Day Dornan. I'm sorry if I'm if I'm pronouncing.
Should we
your
do an
books and
episode
authors.
on that book?
Maybe. Depends on what it's about.
Shadow people? That sounds strange.
Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke. Meeting the Other Crowd by Eddie Lenehan, Carolyn Eve Green. It's a Fallen World by Jack Webb. As the Last Leaf Falls by Christopher Hughes. Post-Hypnotic by Passiflora Incarnata. Werewolf Trials by Thomas Jacob.
He's reading a little slow because he forgot his reading glasses.
Yes.
This old man over here.
Just so you guys know I've mentioned it before. I can read. It's just I cannot read without my glasses very well. I'll do one more for you. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Somebody's listening to Story of Frankenstein.
That's one that we should do.
I was just thinking about that.
So, let's get into the girth of the episode. We got a fun story.
Okay. Yeah.
We're at 6 minutes.
Hell yeah. I love that. Got
Journey
that segment
to the
quickly.
center of the earth.
Yes, by Jules Verne.
Starts out in Germany.
Starts on Germany.
Oh, and this is a fictional writing, they say.
Fictional. Why you say they say?
They say. Well, we all know that Jules Verne obviously wasn't a nerdy writer. He was an adventurer and a warrior, and he went to this place himself, and he just used different names to disguise the real location that he knew.
I am unaware of that.
I totally made it up.
Okay. I was like, I did some research about him, and I never heard that.
Nope, it's a fiction. It's an adventure. A little bit of action adventure.
Like you said, it takes place in France.
Germany.
Yes. Jules Verne, he was French. It takes place in Germany, though. Who are our main characters, Toodles?
It's narrated by Axel, the nephew of the Professor Leidenbrock.
Way too cautious for my liking.
He's safe.
Safe, yes.
He's safe.
Not very. I didn't think he was very adventurous.
Well, this was a pretty spontaneous and dangerous undertaking to go about all of a sudden. Because they were in a time crunch because of the time restraints that we'll see. Because they had to get to this mountain during a certain time of the year.
Oh, okay.
So Professor Leidenbrock.
Otto Leidenbrock. Very German name.
He found this manuscript that was written... Who's it written by? I forgot.
It was an ancient Icelandic manuscript. Written by a long-dead alchemist named Arne Saknussemm.
Saknussemm!
Yes.
Yes!
Hidden in ruins. It claims that Saknussemm traveled down through a volcano to the center of the earth. What was it? It was in Icelandic, yeah. And they had to do... What did they have to do to translate it? Do you remember?
Well, it was written in Latin, if I believe right, from the story. They finally figured out what language it was. Mm-hmm. Because Professor Leidenbrock is well-versed in many, many languages. He's a very studied professor of mineralogy.
Yes.
So, it was written in a code, which, simply enough, was simply the whole thing was written backwards. So if you read it from the back cover, from the bottom right of the page, left and up, exactly opposite of how you'd read a normal book, you could read it. So the nephew was the one who cracked the code.
Yes, I was about to say Axel was the one that cracked it.
Knowing that his uncle
He's like,
would,
shit,
of course, want to go on this spectacular journey to the center of the earth.
Which he thought was totally crazy.
Which they keep you in
absurd.
suspense about at this point in the book. You just know that Axel cracked the code, and he's like, what kind of insane person would dare to do such a thing?
It's very
But
dramatic.
it leaves it hanging. And he's like, maybe I'll burn it in the fireplace.
Yes,
so he
yes,
grabs it to throw it in
that.
there so his uncle won't be inclined to go risk his life chasing something that Axel thinks is impossible. And right when he's about to throw the book in the fire, the door opens. And in comes Professor Leidenbrock. He's like, oh, Professor, I was just looking at this book. He gives it to the professor, who spends the next week or so studying it. And he's like, no one in this family is going to eat a bite of food until we discover the secrets. So finally, Axel feels sorry enough for him that he tells him the code.
I keep imagining Doc from Back to the Future.
Well,
For Leidenbrock. I don't know. It's just
he's very
eccentric
eccentric and
yes.
ecstatic
Yes.
kind of person.
Yes. There's
So,
no time.
Long story short, at this beginning of the book, Professor reads it. It's like, well, we gotta go. This is the most spectacular discovery that's ever been made, and we have the only manuscript detailing how to do it. We have to go. So they make some plans, and they ship off to, I think it's London, to go catch a boat, and they rush the whole trip because part of the reason they need to get there so fast is because the sun is in a particular place in the sky come August or July, whenever they get there. And
shines on
the
a rock,
directions, the sun is going to cast a shadow over a mountain peak that's going to shine right in a crater at a certain point of the day, and in that crater is the entrance to the chamber that leads to the center of the earth. So they make some plans and get up there on their boat, and then they get to Iceland, where they hire a guide. You remember what his name is? The guide man?
The guide. It was Hans.
Hans.
Yes.
The Icelandic adventurer.
Doesn't really say much, which...
Man, a few words.
Yes. Which makes you wonder, what's the point of the guide?
So, they go traversing across Iceland on the more developed roads, is what they're called, but they're just little gravelly trails through the mountains and hills, and they pass by a cottage here and a cottage there with one or two farmers in it, or a couple keeping their animals. They come to a little place where they stay in this lady's house that cooks some food and gives Axel a big ol' Icelandic cheek kiss that he doesn't like. Then they take off, and they get some noble steeds along the way. Some noble steeds that cross over the rivers, that climb the mountains. And at a point, the horses can go no further. It's too thin and too difficult of a climb, so they have to do it by foot. One of the Icelandic people dropped a rope down hundreds and hundreds of feet. Axel's scared it might be them next. And finally,
Climbing down the rope.
they get to a crater of Mount Snaefell,
Snaefell, yeah.
who they mistakenly pronounce as Sniffles here and there. And they set up camp where they need to see this shadow. But it's cloudy, so they see nothing. And the next day is cloudy.
Damn it.
And they stay up there, and finally, on the fateful day that the clouds parted, the sun shone through, casting a shadow across Mount Snaefell, pointing into the crater that they decide to explore. They knew they were in the right place because there was a sign up there that said Mount Snaefell.
The name of the entrance is Snaefell Skull.
And there was a sign there written by the author of the book that they were following to find it in the first place.
Which was
Sugnesson.
Sugnesson, yes. Arne Sugnesson. And the where they go down, it's a dormant volcano.
That was an
Dormant
issue
volcano.
that Axel had to speak up and caution his uncle about before they went. He's like, this is a volcano. What if it erupts and blows us out the top in a fiery mess of lava and death? To which Leidenbrock replies, oh, fear not, this has been dormant for hundreds of years. The last known eruption was way back when. Leidenbrock has the answer for everything.
Everything.
He is insanely smart.
Yep.
Insanely studied. So finally, they get into this cave,
Yes.
right where that shadow landed.
A whole
And
day worth of climbing.
It says that they pack
Actually.
spirits with them, but no water.
Like alcohol?
Yes. Leidenbrock said they'd find water along the way. Well, that is until they got to the cave. So they go down into the depths. Farther and farther, and now at this point in the cave, only
Leidenbrock's
Hans.
obsession growing stronger and stronger.
Only Hans is with them at this point. Axel, Leidenbrock, and Hans. They go down and down. Just like that journey of 7 days through the cave that Gilgamesh had to go on.
Yep.
This is the same thing.
Almost makes me wonder if Gilgamesh was also going to the center of the earth. Because many old cultures...
He did have to sail across the sea, which we will find they had to do here, too.
So many cultures had a hollow earth, like a land theory.
We'll get into that.
Yes.
So eventually, Axel is like, Leidenbrock, man, I'd love to go with you farther, but I can't because of this want for water. Leidenbrock's like, what want for water?
Oh, yeah, because they go all the way down this tunnel.
We have none left.
And run into a dead end.
And Leidenbrock's genius idea was to keep going.
Axel's saying that, based off his calculations, they're actually descending upward.
At one point, yes.
Yes.
And Leidenbrock takes that into consideration and simply says, we're going to keep going anyway. And they eventually start going down. And then when they run out of water, he's like, well, don't worry about running out of water. We'll go for 3 more days, and then if we don't find water, we'll turn back. So this idiot had a suicidal plan. So, I mean, obviously, you ain't going to get back after 3 days of no water when it's 3 days back just to the point where you ran out of water from in the first place.
He asks for Axel and Hans to give him a day. Just a day to find water.
But they find none.
They find none.
And Axel collapses.
As Leidenbrock is ahead of him, he says, come to me, I am perishing.
And Leidenbrock, in an act of love that Axel had never seen before.
He's one of those stoic, distant, emotionally distant uncle types.
Takes the last drip of water that he had in his canteen and wets Axel's lips with it. Axel gets a strength rush from the water. He's like, you used your last bit of water on me. Sorry, he's German. He didn't say that way.
The Wasser.
And Leidenbrock said, yes, I've looked at this water 100 times, wondering when I get the sweet drink of the last water in my can. But no, Axel, I saved it for you because I knew that you'd perish and become lifeless. I knew you were a pussy, so I saved some for you.
Yeah. I knew you were a pussy. You're going to need it.
So they kept going. Axel had to sleep. He passed out, woke up. Professor and Hans are both sleeping.
Laying down.
Passes out, wakes up again. This time Hans is gone. He comes back and says something in Icelandic that Axel does
They're following
recognize.
a river of lava, right?
No, they're just going down a blank, dead, dark cave.
Where do they have light? Do they have torches?
They had lanterns.
Okay.
Which will run out of fuel later.
Okay.
Well, Axel wakes up and his uncle's there, but Hans isn't.
And the temperature in this whole time didn't change, which surprised Axel.
That was another concern of Axel's before they went down. It's like, if they say that the Earth increases by this much temperature every this many feet, then by the time we're this deep, we're going to be at like 2,000 degrees, and we're going to be incinerated. But Leidenbrock obviously had an answer. He's like, that is simply speculation, my boy. Nobody's actually been that deep to know. What if, in fact, the temperature doesn't rise at all, and there's a whole continent to be discovered? There's a whole new land.
Might have just snapped and thought you're talking to your uncle at Thanksgiving who's a flat earther. And was like, the shape of the earth, that's just speculation, boy.
So Hans comes back with a word on his mouth that Axel recognizes. Water. He hears the sound of rushing water. He hears it behind a rock in the wall. The granite wall that they've been walking down these corridors of. So he starts beating on this rock. And beating on this rock to try to get some water in. Which Axel's like, what if we drown if it doesn't stop? Valid concern, but death by thirst seems worse. So they chip away at the rock until finally this water comes bursting through.
They discovered a subterranean river.
They fill up their canteens, get their strength back, and they're like, let's plug it up so we don't drown. And they're like, no, let's let it run so that we have something to follow back. We can follow this trail of water back to the top, because it must flow down.
This makes sense.
So they keep descending. And Axel's like, by my calculations of how far we've gone, we should be somewhere under the Atlantic Ocean. Whales. Imagine whales are slapping their tails against the roof of the chamber that we walk. Imagine above us, leagues and leagues above us, a ship is getting tossed and turned in the tumultuous storms of the North Atlantic.
I would feel super claustrophobic during all this.
And they keep descending. Till Axel realizes one day he's not with the professor anymore. He doesn't see Hans.
What?
He cries out into the darkness, and there's no answer.
Professor Leidenbrock!
He takes some steps and kicks over his lantern. He kicks his lantern over and empties all the oil out. So now, he has no light. He can't find the water trail either. And nobody's answering his calls.
Yes, so Axel's looking for Leidenbrock and Hans, and he's calling out for them.
He's scared he's gonna die.
Yes.
He's contemplating, should I go back because maybe I got ahead of them and they couldn't find me and I gotta go back? Or are they in front of me and coming back to me, so we're both gonna go all the way to the surface and never see each other till we're there? Should I go forward? They might be going back and we'll just get separated and I'll die. So eventually, after hours of wandering the darkness, he hears his name being yelled out. Axel! Axel!
Axel!
Put your face against the wall, for it carries the sound of our voices farther. So he does. They're like, how far away are we? I'll say your name, Axel, and I'll time when I say it. When you hear it, reply it back to me, and when I hear it again, I'll record the time it took for this sound to get from me to you and back, and we'll find out how far away we are.
So Axel agrees to that.
Turns out minutes pass with this sound. They're miles away from each other.
Wow.
So Axel has some walking to do, but he does it and meets back up with them, and they keep descending.
Nice.
Until they finally find their water again. And then they come to a lake. A giant lake. On the way right before the lake, they notice that it's getting brighter. Not hotter, but brighter. Eventually, they see the light source. And they look up, they keep going, and there's some kind of electric charge that's glowing like an electric sun under there that's lighting everything. And by this light, there's a beach and trees.
And then they encounter some creatures fighting.
Well, Hans, under the orders of Professor Leidenbrock, Leidenbrock's like, we need to cross this expanse. And Axel's like, why? We'll have no idea where we're going. Once we're out there, the compasses ain't even right. Well, Hans is sworn to obedience to Mr. Leidenbrock instead of Axel, so of course he builds this raft, and they set sail. And on this journey, this voyage...
Do you think that Hans, in, like, older translations could be, like, a slave or a servant, but it got translated different to something more appropriate?
I don't think so, because at the beginning of it, Leidenbrock was greeted with much hospitality from the Icelandic people.
Interesting.
And he gets introduced to Hans, who's an adventurer and for hire, so he gives him half the money up front, and they agree to the rest of the money at the end.
Because it's just, like, that part about his loyalty, it almost seemed, like, servant-like, you know?
It did, and it's interesting that he kept us cool so much
Just
under
like-
all this, like, stuff. Nobody's seen this before.
Because with him being, like, a
Like-
foreigner, too, it made me wonder if... Just speculation. When
Well,
was
see,
this written again?
maybe 1800s, I think mid-1800s.
So, very well.
So yeah, they build a raft and set sail across this electric sun illuminated lake of sea monsters.
Nice.
They go fishing
Sounds like an adventure.
and catch themselves a sturgeon,
A sturgeon.
and then they see something
What they
that
used to
looks like
fish?
a log. A fishing line. They brought it.
Oh, okay. They're like, this might have to go fishing on this trip.
So they see something that looks like a log, and then the log starts swimming around.
Kind of reminds me
Typical of sea creatures.
of that fishing trip that you went on with your grandpa. You reached down and
He thought saw a log or something looked weird, and he reached down, and it was a carp just sitting there on the bottom. It flaps its tail and swims off, and it made my grandpa jump, and I felt it in the canoe. I looked back, he's like, just tried to reach down and push off a log, and it was a carp. Jump scared me.
So they see something that looks like a log.
Yeah, and then the log swims,
Oh my.
and then this other one comes closer.
Uncanny.
They see it, this big shadow under the water. They're like, what is that? It's huge. It looks, I forget what kind of dinosaur they said it was.
We gotta
but
say what kind of dinosaur it was.
Probably a leviathan. I mean, fit in the theme of our show. There's actually two of them.
It is a Thiosaurus and a Plesiosaurus.
A plesiosaur.
A plesiosaur and
Can I see the other one? Did you spell it right?
a plesiosaur, and these are like water dinosaurs,
ichthyosaur.
aquatic dinosaurs.
Ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs.
Yes, battling each other in the sea.
Battling, causing a tumult, making them fear that they're going to get wrecked. And then once that calms down and one of them wins and kills the other one, well, now of course they have to face a storm. They face this storm. Some clouds form, some winds blow, and blows them right back to the shore where they left. So they set sail again. This time they get to an island.
We have to proceed onward.
There's an island, and there's a knife on the island.
Knife from Snarknesson,
Somebody must have been here.
said Leidenbrock.
Yes. And he's like, oh, Axel, we found the knife carried by the hero of our journey. So they keep going and keep sailing. Oh, actually, the storm was after all this, because the storm ended up in them getting sucked into this tumult, lasted days and days. They're hanging on for dear life on their raft.
It might be scary, but this is pretty cool. This is like a giant ocean that is in the center of the earth that they had nothing about. They saw dinosaurs.
And they saw
Wouldn't be a bad way to die.
pterodactyls flying in the sky, if I'm not
Wouldn't
mistaken.
be a bad way to die. This
And
is
then the
pretty cool.
story comes to an abrupt, unwanted end.
What?
Because the storm ends up pooping them way up.
Wait a second. No. What about the mushroom forest?
Oh,
And-
yeah, that was on the island. That was on the... My bad.
Yes.
They see these giant
Can't leave out
dome
the mushies.
things. Giant domes. Looking like houses or
Yes.
trees almost. And they get closer and they're like, what is that? Some kind of structure? Some kind of tree? And I think the pterodactyl might have landed on one. I'm not sure.
Wonder
But
what
they
would
get
happen.
close enough.
Did they eat the mushrooms?
That would explain the source of the inspiration of the story.
Oh, yes, I got it mixed up.
Well, there's giant mushrooms on this island. I wonder if you could burn them for firewood.
Did they?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. I don't think
I'm kind of rusty at the end of the story.
Well, plus they also find remains of prehistoric humans.
Indubitably.
Yes.
And not your average remains either. Somehow, by the bone shape, he had it
He concluded,
figured out
yeah.
what race of people these were, too. Some English something. Not sure. Right? Weren't they English?
Let me look at my notes.
Let me look at my notes.
Your notes? What'd you find in your notes, Toodles?
Bunch of nothing. I don't know what race these people were, but anyway, they see these remains,
Yes.
and even the remains of the animals and the dinosaurs are like, things must have evolved differently down here.
Yes.
Didn't they see a dragonfly?
Yes. They
They
saw
had like
dragon.
a 3-foot wingspan or something like that.
Everything was bigger down there. The bugs were bigger down there. The mushrooms were bigger.
Everything was giant.
I'm disappointed though that the humans they found had to be dead. Like they were just
Dude, I know.
skeletons. I don't know why he didn't go even further with the story. It's like it made me think of Supernatural. You know how like they are low budget, so like the most CGI is like the Leviathan has like glowing eyes, or Lucifer has glowing
Well,
eyes.
the CGI issues with that show is because it was started in 2005, which it wasn't that great yet.
But what I'm saying is, like, they didn't, like, there are certain things that they didn't do with CGI that you would expect them to do on a show like that.
That's true. Like, that's the biggest... Like, that's a 10 out of 10 show for me anyway. Mm-hmm. But there's two issues that I have. And one is, like, the Leviathan should have been, like, this crazy big creature that takes,
just
like...
this guy.
Yeah, it's just, like, a disease, basically.
By the way,
so,
a few episodes from now, I'm thinking we're going to do an episode about Leviathan and other strange creatures of the biblical sort.
Biblical sort? There's not that many in the Bible.
Leviathan,
the
Behemoth, Seraphim. Then we have a story from the Apocrypha where
and the
Daniel
Watchers
encounters a dragon. So
yeah, they get off this island after finding all these bones, fossils, giant things, and a knife.
Yep.
And now, when they set sail, they encounter the storm.
Yes.
An electric storm shedding darkness across the under the ocean. Till they're finally bashed around by the waves, holding on for dear life in the raft, all thinking they've met their doom, especially when with one big splash, the raft is beaten into pieces. And they're all holding on for dear life to one little piece, thinking this is how it's going to end. Down here where nobody will ever find us, eaten by sea monsters and forgotten forever.
Not a bad way to go.
And the book's going with them, too, so nobody else is even ever going to find it.
Wouldn't have a story to tell.
But I hear at least one person must escape to tell the story, and in this case, it's a happy ending because nobody died.
And a volcanic eruption sends them out.
That's part of the storm. They get swept up in this whirlpool that ends up pushing up on the bottom of these raft pieces faster than they've ever traveled before, up and up and up and up, and they're like watching their little whatever the heck doohickey tells them how deep they are, and they're shooting up and up and up, and they're like, the pressure is going to kill us. We're going to get slammed up against the top of this cave system down here and be crushed to death.
I'm surprised they didn't die through all this.
And they get shot up and up and up through water, into the Mediterranean Sea by Italy.
Stromboli, Italy. A volcano in Italy.
And they go back.
Stromboli is a volcano in Italy.
And Leidenbrock is so proud of this adventure they went on. And they go back home.
Back home, Leidenbrock basks in the glory, proud to have followed Sagnison's path. Axel, relieved to be alive, reflects more humbly in the dangers of the obsession and the mystery of the world below. So it really profoundly changed Axel. He's more interested in science now. Oh, by the way,
Axel was engaged.
It was his fiance she's the one that talked him into going. She's like, come on, this is like an adventure of the lifetime.
I'll be waiting here when you get back, and then we'll get married when you return.
Yeah, and you'll be like this, she a good woman to have at a coward like him's back.
True.
Yes.
And thus our story comes to a close. And it's
part-time adventure novel, part-time scientific speculation, part-time mythic descent into the underworld instead of finding hell.
Jules Verne was quite a learned man himself because he goes into detail about a bunch of things that, it's a book that might actually be educational a little bit at the beginning, going over mineralogy and having just some of the dialogue that the professor has with other people, just the things that the professor says. It's like, that actually takes a little bit of knowing some things, just which I appreciate a book written by somebody that is both intelligent and eloquent.
Well,
that's nice.
There have been people throughout history who very seriously, like the Nazis, they believed in Sun Earth, Hollow Earth. That's
why they went to the South Pole, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were looking for the opening down there. That's why Richard Byrd from our own country went up to the North Pole and the South Pole. Yeah. Found a hole in each. When they went to the South Pole, he came back because they got chased by some kind of Nazi army, apparently. But while he was there, he saw, supposedly, a UFO flying out of the water and like teleporting somehow, like whoop, like
and
real
it brought
fast
up to
up
this
north.
open space where it's
So,
green
and
below.
That was when he went to the North Pole.
Oh, okay.
He was going north and saw more and more like remains of animals. And after a certain point, like the 80th parallel or something, going north, he'd notice that birds were migrating north for the winter. He also noticed that this frozen ice, this ice up there, is fresh water. Well, that ocean is salt water. So where's this fresh water coming from? Goes farther and it starts warming up. Gets tropical. Gets green. There's water flowing out back to where it's getting cold. So he's like, this is the fresh water. And he said there's a city down there filled with other people with different kinds of technologies, different animals, different plants. And this was all in his journals that he wrote. They didn't share with anybody, and it was his children that found them and released them. And upon release, they were quickly tried to gather up the copies and hide them.
Yes.
And it's very, very difficult to get your hands on one now. And even if you do, it might be a fake. So that's his story. He also went to the South Pole, but that time he got, he saw the UFO and got chased by the Nazis. All more conspiracy theory goodness. So, a bunch of different cultures, we're going to cover that.
Yes,
and
yes,
I said
yes.
we get to it. Have a Hollow Earth myth or theory. Or maybe not necessarily Hollow Earth, but at least vast cave systems under the surface
Yes.
of Earth.
Like Hades. Hades, that was Pluto or Pluto's realm. It was seen as a vast underground kingdom where souls of the dead resided. A lot of these old ones are usually a dwelling place of the dead. Like, and then in the in the Norse culture you have Svaftalafamir, home of the dark elves, deep under mountains filled with treasure, forges, and magical artifacts. And then in the Mesopotamia, the Sumerians and Babylonians, they had Kur, a dark cavernous underworld beneath the earth where the dead also were trapped. And the goddess Ereshkigal ruled there.
Ereshkigal. Whose mythology is this?
And then that was Mesopotamia. But in the ancient Mesoamerican myths, they had the Maya believed in Zabalba, an underground world accessed through caves and cenotes, natural sinkholes.
There's your word of the day, folks. A cenote. That's basically a quicksand pit.
It was a place of trials, darkness, and gods of death. Some depictions describe it as a subterranean city where rivers and chambers eerily similar to Verne's imagination.
There's also myths in like Ireland and Britain and some countries up there that there's old stories of children that would come out of holes in the ground, and there's this one family that actually adopted two of them, and they had green skin. And the more time that they spent on the surface with this family, their skin started fading more and more. Like the green went away, and they were just left with normal skin.
Where is that from?
It was Britain or Ireland or one of those islands up there.
Speaking of people with green skin, these were the ones that
Scotland,
I
don't know.
in particularly interested in. While we're on the Mesoamerican though, the Navajo have layered worlds beneath the surface that humanity passed through before arriving here. But okay, so in Hindu myth, Hindu texts describe Patala, vast subterranean realms inhabited by serpent beings, Nagas, and demons,
Okay.
Asuras.
In China, there's a cave, a little village outside of it, where they blocked off the front of the cave with rocks. They tell all the people, and visitors included, don't go out here at night because there's these giant lizards that'll come out of there that are human-like.
There's
and
places
they'll
like that all over China.
steal you
Yeah.
and take. There's also a cave kind of proving the validity of an underground ecosystem with storms and a sun and everything. There's a cave system in China that's like 800 square miles or something, cubic miles, and
Like the size of Mammoth Cave here in America.
bigger than that.
Bigger than that.
Well, no, is Mammoth Cave the biggest in the world cave system?
Let's ask ChatGPT. Haven't had him join us on here for a minute.
It's the biggest known one in China.
How big is Mammoth Cave?
Mammoth Cave is this massive, incredible cave system in Kentucky, and is actually the longest known cave system in the world. It's got all these
shut up now.
crazy tunnels and chambers, and people have been exploring it for hundreds of years. It's like a giant underground world.
Does it have its own ecosystem because it's so big?
It sure does. There are these super cool creatures that have adapted to live in the dark down there, like eyeless fish, albino shrimp, and these tiny little cave crickets. It's a whole ecosystem that's evolved just for that environment. Pretty wild, right?
Does it have its own weather system and climate down there?
It's definitely got its own climate. It stays pretty constant, cool and humid all year round, which is why it's perfect for exploring in any season. But no rain or wind like we get outside, just that steady underground vibe.
So yeah, this cave system in China is so big that clouds and rain form in it.
Do you want me to ask it about it?
Yeah.
Or you do.
I'll
you
ask it.
Yeah.
What's the cave in China that's so big that it has its own clouds and rain and weather inside it?
You're thinking about the Miao Room in the Gebehe cave system. That's in China, and it's one of the largest cave chambers in the world. It's so huge that it can have its own mist and clouds inside, almost like its own little weather system. It's amazing how big and open it is for a cave.
Yeah, there you go.
Does it ever rain?
It can. In these huge chambers
Yeah,
like the
bro.
Miao Room, moisture can condense and form droplets that fall like rain. So it's not exactly the same as rain from clouds in the sky, but you can definitely get water droplets falling from above, kind of like an indoor rain.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. And that's stuff that we've discovered, and that's public knowledge. Like, who knows what the elites are hiding from us? Who knows what archaeological discoveries have been made that is still under research, that's classified, that we don't know? We're just talking about a fictional book and a couple, like, that's 2 caves that we know that are that big. There's another, I heard this dude on a podcast once, on the Higher Side Chats, shout out to Greg Carlwood. It's like the best podcast I think there is in the conspiracy world. So yeah, Higher Side Chats, Greg Carlwood. I forget this guest's name, but he said that he worked at this little spelunking shop, and a bunch of people in the military came up and got ordered a bunch of gear, and he was like real nice to one, gave him like something free, I think, and he's like, "Hey, what's this for?" I'm like, "We found this cave system in the Grand Canyon." So he knows of these resources where all these known caves that are explored are like documented and stored, and he couldn't find any information on it. The kid told him he's from a certain school, so he goes to the school's website to, see what they're doing on their archaeological team. There's nothing about it. No information, but these people ordered like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gear, including like these custom-made ropes that were like over 500 feet long or something like that. So like, what's up with that? A lot of mysteries under the surface.
Yes.
Figuratively and literally.
And so I had started talking about serpent lizard people.
Never judge an earth by its crust, they say.
In various cultures around the world. In Hindu and Buddhist traditions, you have the Naga, semi-divine serpent beings who often dwell in underground or underwater realms. They're seen as protectors of treasures and knowledge. They live in elaborate subterranean palaces. In Mesoamerican mythology, there's the Maya god Kukulkan, and the Aztec equivalent of Quetzalcoatl. Sorry if I know I gravely mispronounced that. Both feathered serpent deities. While not explicitly underground, these beings are tied to cosmic and natural forces, sometimes associated with hidden knowledge or realms. In Native American traditions, especially among the Hopi, there are stories of snake people or Shati. Some interpretations say they emerged from underground realms after cataclysms and helped humanity. In Chinese mythology, you have the Lung, or dragon kings. While dragons are celestial, they're also associated with water and sometimes linked to underground or underwater palaces. And then lastly, in African traditions, the Dogon people speak of Nomo, amphibious beings associated with water. And cut off in my notes. Yeah, so you have these like serpent beings from underneath the world.
There's enough mythology, stories, and discoveries that I wouldn't say that the Earth is hollow is the case that I entertain, but I would say there's some vast caves that would appear as if you're in a hollow Earth.
Yes, and we already have examples of that do exist. Mammoth Cave, and then the one in China that I can't remember the name of.
Richard Byrd in that hole in the North Pole when he was getting into the tropical regions. Excuse me. He said that he found a landmass that's arguably the size of North America.
Really?
Much discoveries to be made.
The size of North America?
Yeah.
How would he gauge that?
Frick if I know. He had an airplane.
How could a little plane like that fly across America without running out of gas?
Probably not.
Back then?
I think we need to put together a team ourselves and just go cross the snow and try to find it ourselves. I got a list of people that I think could be good additions. It'd be you and me and our pilot friend, and then
Austin. How else are we gonna
trying
get there?
to not name drop people, but yeah, him.
Jake.
Yep, conspiracy theorist. Gotta have some like physically fit, logical people, you know. I think we all fit the bill.
I agree.
And Fulton, I hope you're listening to this, by the way. I hope your life is filled with blessing. It's one of the best homies I made out at my music school in Phoenix.
Shout out to Fulton.
He lives out in South Bend now.
Fulton, who makes his own music.
Leland Wilder. Check him out on Spotify.
Yeah.
And check out Nate Visen on Spotify. I was actually in the studio with him earlier today. And
that dog.
There was a submission made for a song to be released within the next
Lights
month.
By Nate Visen.
It is called Lights Go Out, and that's all I can say.
Oh, yeah, Lights is a song you already have released.
At the point that this is released, this podcast, that song might already be out. And I know I've teased it a bunch in the past, but there's no more teasing now. It is submitted to be distributed to anywhere you listen to music. So check Lights Go Out by Nate Visen out whenever you hear this. Pre-save it. Download it. Should be coming out. It's set to come out on Halloween. So, we'll see how close we get to when this episode drops.
This should come out fairly close. Maybe a little bit afterwards.
So as long as all the checking processes and overviewing your track stuff, as long as that all checks out, should be plenty of time for it to be okayed, be released then.
Yes. So, I didn't... Oh, wait. Yeah, you were talking about us going to the center of the earth.
Yeah, I think we should put together a team of some trucks and maybe dog sleds. I don't know.
Trucks, dog sleds.
I mean, I got a pilot friend, so that'd get us pretty far up there.
I got some trucks. Got some zero turns. Pull some sleds with
snow.
that. Put the snowblower attachment on the mower.
We need one of them big
tires.
ones with like the really wide tires. It's like the 8-wheelers. That way they just float on top of the snow.
Yeah. Don't need a snow dog. Don't need any snow sleds at that point. Expeditions to the center of the earth. I didn't realize how...
Snowmobiles. Duh.
I'm talking about Zero Turns. I didn't realize how much. Did you see the Disney movie Atlantis that came out when we were kids?
I have no idea.
I didn't realize how much that movie was based off from this book.
Well, there is a movie called Journey to the Center of the Earth that's kind of old by now, but...
Mid 2000s.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I remember when it came out. I remember advertising for it, but unfortunately I was not able to watch it.
Me and my wife watched a little bit of it earlier this week. It was filled with mid 2000s family adventure nostalgia vibes.
We should watch it together.
I'd be down.
That's about all I had for this episode. You got anything else?
I do. I have some notes.
Ooh, like what?
So, I bring up the movie Atlantis because basically the premise of that movie is that Atlantis sunk down into, like, it's basically like, what, in a bubble underneath the earth? It's an advanced civilization dwelling down there.
Check out Scoochie Boochie's album called The Lost City of Atlantis. That one is, feels like you're on an adventure listening to that album.
And, there's like a variety of, like, utopian Hollow Earth societies I came across in my research. You have Agartha, which is from Buddhist tradition, Buddhist culture. Agartha is believed to be a vast underground kingdom hidden inside the earth, often described as a utopian civilization with advanced knowledge and spiritual wisdom and technology. It is usually connected with Shambhala, the mythical Tibetan kingdom, sometimes said to be its capital or related inner world. The eastern roots of this in Tibetan and Central Asian legends speak of hidden kingdoms beneath the Himalayas. So a lot of these imagine them beneath mountains. Yeah. Places of refuge for enlightened beings. Shambhala, in particular, appears in Buddhist Kolaktra texts. And here's some Western adaptations. In the 19th century, occultists and theosophists like Hanena Blavatsky blended these traditions with Hollow Earth speculation. Saint Ves Alvaldre, a French occult writer in the late 1800s, popularized Agartha in his book Mission de Lende. He described it as a hidden world ruled by spiritual masters called the Masters of Wisdom. Who would have thought? So it was an advanced civilization. People of Agartha supposedly lived in harmony using powerful energy sources, sometimes described as real energy of a mystical life force. And they believed there were hidden entrances. Believers claimed portals to Agartha existed in Tibet, Mongolia, the North and South Poles.
Well, there you have it.
So that explains why the Nazis went down there.
Even in the video game Skyrim, the one city that is built like it's carved out of the side of the mountain has an entirely underground system beneath it. Mm-hmm. And there's other places also along mountain ranges where there's some kind of temple or structure hewn out the edge of a mountain. You go in and there's this giant cave system in it.
And they believe there were spiritual overseers. The rulers of Agartha were there. They were thought to guide the surface world from afar. So again, inner earth-dwelling people pulling the strings of society. Lizard people?
Lizard people,
perhaps,
man.
Perhaps, maybe.
There's people that have taken ayahuasca and said, there's lizard people. They told me that they were in charge of everything.
Yeah.
And the shaman's like,
that up. Yeah.
The shaman's like, that's what they always say.
Yeah. We have, and then occult and conspiracy connections of Agartha. Agartha becomes part of Western occult tradition linked with Atlantis, Lemuria, and other lost civilizations. The Nazis in the 1830s and 40s, Nazis occult Nazi occult circles like the Thule Society were facilitated with hollow earth theories and the possibility of Agartha and Shambhala as sources of Aryan wisdom. Expeditions to Tibet, were partly ruled by these ideas. In the 20th century, Agartha got tied into UFO mythology. Inner Earth dwellers seen as either benevolent space brothers or secret overlords. And then the fringe. Some modern conspiracy theorists claim the governments are hiding the entrances at the poles. All right. Agartha represents the hidden wisdom beneath the surface, a mirror to ancient myths where the underworld wasn't about death, but also truth and knowledge and transformation. So that's Agartha. Then we have Lemuria. Lemuria is the lost continent myth, often placed in the Indian Ocean between Madagascar and India. It was first proposed by 19th century scientists to explain the presence of similar fossils in India of lemurs.
Lemurs.
The theory was later disproven by plate tectonics, but the idea stuck around. So this guy, he theorized that there was this lost city between Madagascar and Africa, and there were these lemur humanoid people. Then they were the connection of lemur skeletons on
Zaboomafoo.
Yes, Zaboomafoo. And they were so he imagined this lost utopia there with these lemur humanoids.
Lemur humans. I have not
Yes.
heard that before.
The theory was later disproven by plate tectonics, but the idea stuck around. In later occult and esoteric traditions like Theosophy, and Lemuria became a utopian civilization, often seen as a precursor to Atlantis, or even existing alongside it. It was said to be inhabited by advanced beings, sometimes even described as early root races, before humans. Like Atlantis, Lemuria supposedly sank due to a great cataclysm.
Wasn't it Homer that wrote about Atlantis?
Plato.
Wasn't it Iliad and the Odyssey? Or,
Nope, Plato. Plato theorized it, spoke of it, and
in what? I forget.
He theorized it of being this advanced utopia where, society had advanced. It was like before the time of the world that we have in recorded history. And then due to their pride, I think it was, their pride led to the falling of the city. And then it was, I think, a volcanic eruption ended up leading to its demise. It sank underneath the ocean, but some theorized that it had got trapped underneath the earth where the Atlanteans dwelled, just like the Agarthans and just like the Lemurians. And they are linked to the idea of coming from the stars. Sometimes I don't know where that came from. So across all cultures you see... Sorry, I was reading the wrong notes. There's these inner earth humanoid creatures who run society. It's an idea that's existed for a very long time.
Timaeus and Critias are the two works by Plato where he talks about Atlantis.
What did he say?
They say the internet says that it was an allegory written against letting pride and hubris decline a civilization.
Hubris.
It's a big lesson.
Pride and hubris.
Same thing.
Well, there's some ways in the world today where I could definitely see it facing its demise due to pride and hubris.
Keep traversing the strange world with humility.
Mm-hmm. So that we don't get all sucked up to the inside the... makes me think of actually Korah, the sons of Korah.
What about him?
they argued against Moses in his position, and then I think he said everybody, all the sons of Korah gather in front of the temple, and then the earth not the temple, the tabernacle, and then the earth opened up and swallowed the sons of Korah. Let me see if I have
down there with the lizard people. See if you got what?
Oh, I was just looking to see if I have any more notes about this. I don't think I do.
About Atlantis?
Or
about our topic?
About the journey. I was kind of bunny trailing off from Journey to the Center of the Earth to Hollow Earth.
Well, there you have it. Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth.
Maybe it ain't hollow, but it sure does have some caves.
Yes. And let's get a little far
sense,
out with our thinking.
I think that the Earth is hollow. But,
vast caves.
Like we've said, more so a system of gigantic caves that would make you think that it's hollow because they're so big. Mm-hmm. But the Earth is so giant, wouldn't freaking know. There could be 50 of those caves. There could be 1,000 of those caves.
And, scientists theorize that we come from mammals, that when the great comet hit the Earth and wiped out the dinosaurs, the mammals burrowed down underneath the Earth, and that's how they were the only animals that survived. They came out, repopulated, and evolved. Imagine something happening long ago to early humanoid, or not even humanoid, mammal creatures, where they are trapped in this vast ecosystem, vast cave, and they evolve throughout time, not needing light, not needing the ability to see. They function with sound and sonar, without eyes. Perhaps bat or mole people, and they evolve to become humanoid. And again, their whole thing is sound, so they develop a civilization powered by frequency.
The Egyptians.
And then they learn.
That's why those pyramids, they say they have there's
pole.
These giant freaking chambers under the sand.
Well, some
maybe those were built up.
I've heard that there's been discoveries with some pyramids where there's like metal, like a tall metal pillar that goes deep down underneath the pyramid.
What if the pyramids were the Tower of Babel, but they just got buried in sand, and we're just seeing the very tip of something that's like super tall?
But they're in Egypt.
So?
Tower of Babel was in Babylon.
Well, does it say that in the Bible?
Toss me that book. Or that Bible.
This Genesis, what, 11?
I don't know if it's 11. It's right after the flood story, though. Be probably a chapter or two after God curses Lot, or not God, Noah curses Lot for seeing him naked while he was drunk. At least that's the way the story goes. That's the information
Genesis 11, folks.
Wow. Toodles is a Bible scholar. I bet you guys didn't know that.
Should I just read it?
Go ahead.
It's really short. Now the whole earth had one language and one speech, and it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar.
Yes.
And they dwelt there. Where's Shinar?
Oh, hi. Okay.
Well, he's looking that up on his AI. And they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They had brick for stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. And they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And the Lord said, "Indeed, the people are one, and they all have one language, and this is what they begin to do. Now, nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. Come, let us is capitalized, go down, and there confuse their language, so that they may not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of the earth, and they ceased building the city. Therefore its name is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the earth, and from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of the earth. I wonder how he scattered them. Teleportation.
In Genesis 11, It mentions the Tower of Babel. It mentions that the sons of men gathered together in the Valley of Shinar. Geographically, where is this understood to be? Geographically and historically.
The Valley of Shinar. That's typically understood to be in ancient Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Iraq. Historically, it's often associated with the area around the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. It's a pretty key spot in early civilization. Think Sumer, Babylon, all that good stuff.
Where does Babylon get its name?
So the name Babylon comes from the Akkadian word Babili, which means gate of the gods. It was later translated into Greek as Babylon. The city was super important, and the name reflects that idea of it being a place where humanity and the divine meet. Pretty epic name, right?
Interesting. Maybe a divine portal? It makes sense to me.
Let's talk about portals, stargates.
It makes sense to me that, there could at least be... I probably not. I don't think that there's like humanoid that evolved down there, but that's probably where aliens would be hiding, or time travelers that are misunderstood as both gods and aliens. I could see them hiding down in the caverns of the earth. I know. I just realized that I jumped from talking about pyramids down to Hollow Earth again, but.
Maybe there's a whole city at the bottom of those pyramids that we haven't found yet. Maybe that's Atlantis, and instead of sinking in the ocean, it sunk in a sea of sand. It got buried. Ooh. There's our speculations. Our ponderings.
Yeah. Far out ideas.
And with our first segment being done, let's get into the girth of the episode.
Not the girth of the episode. Our last segment of the show.
Oh, you want to wrap it up? All right, I got nothing else anyway.
I'm good.
So,
continuing the discussion if you want to.
The last segment of the show.
What are we at? Listen up!
Okay, listen up.
Listen up. It's the time that whether you like it or not, we give you our musical suggestions and we chat a little bit about music.
Let's chat a little bit about music. Do you like Taylor Swift?
Not particularly. I'm not opposed to her. I like a few of her songs, like Blank Space. I
think that's off 1989.
Like Blank Space. I'm going to blank on the rest of her songs.
I mean, okay, so you got like the early stuff, Picture to Burn.
What's the one on a Tuesday in a Wednesday in a cafe? I learned to... What again?
I have no idea.
Begin Again?
Oh, that's off of Fearless, I think. Kind of older.
Kind of, yeah, before she went too poppy.
So, here's the thing, man. When I was little, I loved Taylor Swift. Because her first album dropped, I was like probably 11.
2008, yeah.
And it's like, alright, she's cool. Then Fearless, I was like, yeah, this is cool.
She's cool, she's
Speak
cute.
Now, I like this too. I think she's actually my favorite singer right now. But
really? Wow.
Well, no, not now, but back then now. Before I got
exposed
exposed to
new metal
better music.
Christian new metal, obviously.
She went all the way up to Reputation, and I loved that album. That was like the best one, I think. Red was like the transitional from country to pop, and then everything after Red was poppy. I mean, I tried listening, because I kind of fell behind on my Taylor Swift listening, because I felt like all of her new songs, I wasn't that big of a fan, and they're a little slower. But anyway, I was starting to listen to her new stuff. It's like, I'm sure I'll like it. And man, it just don't hit the same.
Like, how new are we talking?
Like Folklore and After. So, I don't know.
What are some of the songs from that?
I have no idea because I don't listen to it.
We're pissing off
Look,
some Swifties right now.
I went through...
I know at least one that listens to this.
I went through all the new stuff, like Folklore, Midnights, Torture Post, Apartment, Life of a Showgirl, whatever other one I'm forgetting. And I liked them, but man, they just didn't hit the same. Because I used to like jam Taylor Swift. But these are like... I would never crank my windows down and blast this. It's just not as good. What happened? What happened to Taylor Swift?
Oh, Antihero.
people-
Antihero. Is Antihero
Isn't
on
it
there?
exhausting? Oh, he's rooting for the anti-hero.
That's
It's
another.
one of the very few ones that I...
After
like.
Antihero, I don't think I know any new Taylor Swift songs. That's about as new as it gets for me.
Yeah, I tried this week to listen to some Taylor Swift and maybe have some goodies to show, but...
No goodies.
Never
huh?
mind. Don't listen to her anymore. You let me down, Taylor.
Oh, man.
The newest album, out of everything like post-Reputation, the newest one...
Disappointed ex-Swiftie in the studio.
The newest one that just dropped would be my favorite out of all the new stuff, but man, still doesn't hit the same.
Doesn't hit the same.
I don't know. Chris Webby dropped that new album, a little EP, with Scott Storch. We said
Check
that on
it
the
out.
last one.
Check it out anywhere where they release music.
Called 88
Spotify,
Milligrams.
Apple Music.
Dizzy Wright just released a new album. It's very positive, making
Hell yeah.
some good change for yourself, for others.
This is all rap.
Not
right?
lit.
Presume?
Yeah, that's rap.
Rap, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got.
So me,
Arch Enemy just dropped a new album too. I'm gonna totally switch gears and give you some screamo metal. What Arch Enemy, female-fronted screamo, Alyssa White, very melodic, double guitars, very very tasteful harmonizing guitars. Great metal band. I love them. Unlike all these new Taylor Swift albums, these new Arch Enemy albums are fantastic. So check their new one out. I forget the name of it, but obviously it's the newest one. It's just whatever's at the top of the list
all right.
in 2025.
So in this past month, I've went to like 5 different concerts.
Whoa.
Yeah. Let's see. The first one that I went to was Zach Bryan. I've spoken a little bit about that one. It's one of the best concerts I've been to. And then I saw probably, if not my favorite, current favorite singer, he's definitely one of them. I saw Coulter Wall. And me and my little brother Josiah, shout out to Josiah. Me and him went to Chicago earlier this week to see Coulter Wall.
Does he still ride bulls? Your brother?
And Coulter Wall, yes, Josiah. Shout out to Josiah and his rodeo ambitions. Yeah. He's went to a few, worldwide championships.
Wow,
Yeah.
little Josiah,
Yeah.
dude. I haven't
Little
seen
Josiah the
since he
bull
was
rider.
like, his voice was still high pitched,
Yeah.
man.
And shout out to Josiah.
I can't believe he's growing up.
Ride a bull to the moon and back. I believe in you.
Who else you see in
So,
concert?
Yeah. Me and Josiah saw Coulter Wall. And then I also saw a few stand-up comedians. Shane Gillis opened up for
Duncan
Zach
Trussell.
Bryan. And then, last weekend I saw Duncan Trussell.
That was epic.
That was pretty good.
Did you talk to him?
I did not. He
What?
looked at me. The comedian that I can't remember the name of that opened for Duncan Trussell said he liked my shirt. When we were in the hallway and he said that, I didn't realize that was a comedian who saying that to me. It was I think I wore it last week. That Led Zeppelin shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was that Led
Heck
Zeppelin
yeah.
shirt I got, yeah.
You should wear a...
Dude, I got like 6 compliments on that shirt altogether last weekend. It's crazy.
For something like Duncan Trussell, you ought to wear a THC, like the Higher Side Chats shirt.
Or
conspiracy theory ones.
the dispensary shirt.
Yeah.
I typically don't wear like weed merch though, but I would have that night. But I also thought, the Led Zeppelin shirt I was wearing, it was pretty flashy. It had
Nice.
some pink on it, so I was hesitating wearing it, but all the compliments I was getting on it, I was like, well, hot damn, I guess this is one of my favorite shirts now. Yeah. Had a good time with Josiah going to Chicago to see Coulter Wall. He's 11 years younger than me, so haven't had many big brother, little brother experiences, but we were able to go to that concert. The
That
opening
sounds fun.
band was really good, actually. I'm going to actually have them be one of my song suggestions.
Who are they? Who are they?
Trying to find them. Chill dog.
Who were they?
have them in my
Wish I had some time off work to see some concerts.
I might be getting their name wrong, but it's Red Shahan.
Interesting.
Shahan. Yeah.
Huh. S-H.
Check out their song Men and Coyotes. This is outlaw country, Texas country, like Coulter Wall.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You ought to open for him.
But then me and my wife went to Detroit the other night for another concert. She was going to go with her friend. I was going to say the name of the person who canceled, but I'm not going to say that. So this person canceled, even though I'm pretty sure they don't listen to it. They canceled, and I went with her because I didn't want her going all the way to Detroit by herself, driving late at night in busy traffic, so I went. The performer was Nico. So it was a pretty cool concert. And Nico is like, I don't even know how to put the genre. They're non-binary, so the crowd was, it drew a very non-binary crowd. A lot of, you would say a more left-leaning, liberal, kind of woke vibes crowd, that's probably how you'd put it. And I was getting dressed for it, and some of my clothes were dirty and they were in the washer. The kind of more concert vibes clothes, like the Led Zeppelin shirt I was thinking about wearing, is all dirty, and I was like, damn it. So I got dressed and I was thinking to myself, how I'm dressed looks a little down home. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe it's good for somebody who looks down home to go to a concert with people, who don't look the same as them. I think that looks good for culture,
Diversity.
Yes, diversity.
Spread the diversity.
Because I like their music.
You're all there just to enjoy
their music.
Doesn't matter what you believe.
Jericho. You can check out that song. But yeah.
Yeah, Eminem just dropped a new album.
You'll see anyone anywhere. You could see somebody who doesn't look like a Coulter Wall fan had a Coulter Wall concert. I saw. It's likewise.
So Eminem dropped a new album, a compilation album.
Yes.
And on this compilation album is one extra song that I didn't recognize the title. It's called Everybody's Looking at Me. And this thing sounds like it's off of the Marshall Mathers LP back from like 2000 or 01 or whenever it was, 99. It's an old school Eminem song that was not released. It's just like Brand New Dance from 2004 that he just dropped on the last album. Well, on this one we got another previously unreleased early Eminem song, and it's pretty good. If you like those old shady vibes.
Nice.
That's all I got for music.
So my song...
Nate Visen's new one, obviously. Lights Go Out.
Lights Go Out.
Check it out.
My song suggestions are going to be 1800 Miles by Coulter Wall. It's a new single he's released. By the time this episode comes out, he'll probably have released his new album, so check out Coulter Wall's new album.
Nice. And
then, check out Red Shahan. I believe that's how it's pronounced. In terms of Zach Bryan, check out Tradesman by Zach Bryan. Ooh, I'm a Song. This is a live song, but it's good. I'm a Song by Stephen Wilson Jr. Sorry. You Looked... No, I've actually already suggested that song. I was going to say You Look to Yours by Coulter Wall. Those are my song suggestions. So,
well,
until next time.
Keep traversing the strange world with inquisitiveness
and curiosity
and humility.
Yes, and humility. And
a little bit
of swag nuzzled in there.
Because at the end of the day...
Wait, no, let's remember to be neighborly. Neighborly to folks, because at the end of the day, we're all just strangers in a strange land. So keep traversing.
Until next time.
Until next time. Peace.
Toodles.
If you would like to contact us, email us at peaceandtoodles@gmail.com. Until next time, salutations, my fellow strangers.